Hello everybody, it is I, Cool, back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Ishani Pit Row gift pack, which includes Ishani, of course, Ishani's Pity Riya, and of course the tent, the sort of main draw of these gift packs. Ishani is an interesting character in Planes. She's sort of the main, I guess, romantic interest. She's also sort of a guidance figure for Dusty, I guess. Right? Like, she's someone that Dusty takes advice from, but actually has a bit of a dark secret in the movie, and the packaging makes reference to that. I don't have Ishani in the box. Ishani is, I think, one of the rarer Planes characters because she was only ever released in 2013. Right? A lot of Planes characters, the way the Planes like diecast line was structured was that 2013 was, of course, the Planes diecast line's inaugural running. So that was like all the important characters from the first Planes movie. And then just a bunch of background racers, because, I mean, hey, that's sort of the main thing, right? They just kind of released a bunch of Planes because they were really easy to make, since a lot of them were just repaints of existing models. Then there was the 2014, which was dedicated mostly to fire and rescue. So there were a lot more new characters there. 2015, I think most of Planes Fire and Rescue lasted until 2015, and then like summer 2015, they changed it to be all Planes of One focused again, since a lot of Planes of One characters were just absent from store shelves for a while. And then the Planes line ended in 2016, where they finally combined Planes Fire and Rescue with regular Planes. And because of that, a lot of the Planes One characters really only got to shine in the first year of the Planes line. And Ishani is a pretty notable example of this because she is an important character. She is a significant character in the movie, but, you know, she was only ever really released in 2013. Let's check the base here real quick, see if that's correct. F20, just F20, okay. Yeah, my other copies of Planes items say F, so I would assume that's 2013. I also have a qualifying Dusty here. He's made in 2014. So I think actually the Planes One line lasted a little bit into 2014. Because, like, Planes Fire and Rescue came out in, like, August. So at the earliest, it would have been, like, summer 2014 when we got the Planes Fire and Rescue line. I'm going to check Supercharged Dusty, who also... Oh, yeah, right, no. Supercharged Dusty is also one I own from 2014 from China. I didn't realize mine was the Chinese variant. Because Planes diecasts look pretty similar to their China counterparts from their Thailand counterparts. That's right, Planes has Thailand variants, and it's actually pretty interesting. Well, with the recent switch from Thailand to China, you know, it's weird seeing a time where China and Thailand didn't look so different, and now we're also in an era where they don't look so different. I guess because, like, the issue wasn't changing from China to Thailand, it was more so modernizing the car's diecast line to be more focused on printing instead of water slide decals. So all these smooth, like, sort of paint-like decals were changed to a more printing style thing. Like, say, here's Rusty's Cruise, just as an example. She was just the nearest car I had. See? So, like, this isn't as, like, silky smooth as this, as you can see. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. Ishani I've had since January, or like, no, it was February. It was like, I ordered this lot of Planes items back all the way in January, and it didn't arrive until February 1st. And this lot was really significant to me since it gave me a lot of the major characters from the first movie. Characters like Ripslinger, El Chupacabra, of course, you know, Ishani. I even got a spare Dusty. Speaking of which, Originally, my plan was to do a bunch of polls for each of the pit row packs, but, I'm not as active on YouTube anymore. I just kind of record whatever videos I choose. Just because I think that's better for me personally as a creator. I love doing polls. I love getting, like, community feedback, but I just don't like using YouTube that much. I'm sorry, and it doesn't, like, I don't know. So, like, I don't really like logging in and going to check the polls and all that. It's just not fun for me anymore. So, like, just, I decided it was better to just record all these videos. And the Dusty video I'm planning on making really interesting. So that's why I decided to just knock Ishani out of the way. I brought out Ishani, just remembering, hey, I don't... Because, she's kind of been sitting on my shelf for a while. Because I haven't had a really good reason to bring out my other Plains characters that much. Sorry, I have a bit of a cough. So yeah, I just wanted to give Ishani some time to shine. She looks kind of cursed from the front. Let's change that. My friend Ty reviewed Ishani a while back. I forget if it was this year or last year. I think it was last year around this time in November. He reviewed her. And he accidentally said that this was the mouth here, this area in the front, which is incorrect. This is just the mouth plate. This is where the plastic connects to the rest of the plane here. Ishani's actual mouth is over here, right behind the rivet. Yeah, Ishani's just kind of a weirdly designed character. She's a very specific type of plane. I don't know if she's based on a real plane. I haven't seen one like her, but yeah. There's her mouth again. It is accurate to where it is in the movie. Ishani's expression was also brought into question. A lot of people said she looks like a Disney store item. And that's kind of true. I think the biggest issue is the way the fact that her windshield is very curved. And so they gave her this straightforward expression, but kind of just looks like she's... You know how, like, some animals have their eyes on one side or the other, like a shark? Ishani kind of looks like that. Kind of looks like her... Like if you look at her from the side, she has one eye visible. If you look at her from the other side, one eye is visible. You can't really look her in the eyes at once because it just looks really wrong. She has these really beautiful details. She, of course, is the representation for India in the Wings Around the Globe. She's number 6. Just number 6. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. She has these little stabilizer wings, and then, of course, her actual wings. I really like the fade to red on her design, although I do kind of wish the front was more orange, because she's more orange in the movie, similar to Riya. Riya's an interesting diecast. I cannot wait to get to her, but first... Alright, Ishani's propeller is really interesting. Because a major plot point in the first Plains movie is that Ishani gets a new propeller. That propeller is very similar to Ripslinger's propeller. It's actually the same propeller that is later used to supercharge Dusty here. The Plains guy here. He gets this from her. Her original propeller is supposed to be white with red tips. But instead, it seems that they accidentally colored it black with yellow tips, similar to regular Dusty. Very strange, very strange. She kind of looks like a Dorito. Is that just me? She kind of looks like a Dorito. If you like. Yeah. There's her landing gear. Her front landing gear does retract, I believe. Hold on, is it? Okay, it is supposed to go back this way. There's, of course, the playset connector. And there's, of course, her other landing gear. Yeah. I usually keep her just with the landing gear upright. Let me see if I can. It's really hard to do it on camera. There we go. So yeah, Ishani, I think the most interesting part about this is I think she's one of the best condition items in that lot, if not the best. From what I remember, when I opened that big box, it was a huge box. By the way, it was crazy. I don't think I'm ever gonna open anything big like that again in a while, or just ever. I really want to though, because it was just so funny having this large box, and I just knew, oh, it's just these planes characters, you know. But yeah, when I first got it, she had like no damage on her, which was really impressive for a loose item. But like, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. You get lucky. Anyways, on from Ishani is Riya, the pity. Um, Riya, I think, had speaking dialogue in the one, like, there's an iconic short that was made to promote the first Planes movie. Where there's this one pity, this one reporter dude who's like, do you think the Wings Around the Globe rally can be won by a girl? Because, of course, you know, Shawnee's the girl plane. She's the girl plane, everyone. It's girl bossing time. Oh, man, she does have a chip, but it's pretty small. I only just noticed it. Then again, she's been in my collection for months, so, like, it's possible that she didn't have that when I first got her, and it just kind of showed up. I'll have to check my old photos. Yeah, so, like, she's like, no more questions, please. She, of course, is, you know, got the little dot. Ah, man, I forgot to remind myself what the drape, these sort of, you know, I don't know how to word it. I don't want to sound rude. I know it's not a hijab, because that's Muslim culture, not Indian. Ah, man. Yeah, when it comes back to me, I'll put it at the end of the video. She has a bit of a chip on the black outline here. She has molded lips. It's always weird whenever Cars characters have, like, molded in lips like that. Like, I think the best way they did it was on Cruise, where, like, it looks different from, like, McQueen, but it's not, like, obvious, you know? Like, it still looks decently like what a Cars character would look like, whereas this is just a forklift with human lips, and it looks a little strange. Yeah, these pitties are quite big. I really like the detail on this fabric, though. It's very nice. It's raised off a bit. Covers the back of the wheels here. I think you can actually see her in the movie when Dusty's like, this is the wrong oil I ordered. You know, because he's Dane Cook. Plain Cook. Dane Cook. Is Dusty looking off to the side? I swear, in everything except my normal eyesight, Dusty looks like he's looking off to the side. Something weird about this character is the fact that she was produced in China. As you can see, 2013, which is when these pit row packs were first out. Yeah, so for some reason, I have a Thailand Ishani and a China Riya. So my only guess is I can't say for certain if that was like actually a thing that happened. If there is a China version of Ishani out there that's only exclusive to this pack, and I just got, you know, because this is a loose copy. So what probably happened is that the seller probably just had, you know, their regular Ishani that was slightly older, maybe in worse condition, maybe, and you know they had their 2-pack version of Ishani, and so they just kept that one and sold me this one. That's entirely possible. I think the one last thing I gotta say about Riya is I feel like her eyebrows are a little, like, eyelashes are really weirdly designed. I think it's just the way the expression looks. I kind of don't vibe with either of their expressions, but I do like the sort of, I think the grin, regardless of the human lips, does look pretty cool. It kind of gives a smug sort of ho ho, sort of eureka sort of look. But yeah, that's basically both of them. They're fine die casts. I'm happy to own them. I like how interesting Riya is just as a die cast conceptually. She's mostly covered in fabric, so the way they pulled it off was pretty cool. They could have just printed all this on, but they actually 3D molded. They made a separate mold just for her, and that's pretty dope. Ishani could be a little better, but I think they did the best they could for 2013. Also, I feel like generally the planes items with their smaller scale tend to be more, you know, yeah. All right, this video has run to 15 minutes. So the last thing I want to point out is the tent. It has the number 6 on it. It has this little plane symbol and the name Ishani on it. And there's the flag. It's removable. Oh, mess it up. Overall, this pack is solid. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you all enjoyed the review, and I shall see you all around. Bye-bye!